Yo, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to be doing Green Day 21st Century Breakdown Best to Worst album review. And I've got to say, it's been a long time since I've done my last album review. That's because I've been kind of busy trying to keep up with my other videos, and it's kind of been lagging behind and slacking a lot. But I finally caught up now with my videos, so I've got time to make these kind of videos again, which I do enjoy. And yeah, a different change of pace from my usual videos again. So yeah, and I've been looking forward to doing this review for a while. I've had it in the back burner for a long time. And yeah, 21st Century Breakdown is probably one of my favorite Green Day albums. I can't decide if it's number one or number two, but yeah, spoiler alert, that's how much I like it. So it definitely holds a special place in my heart. Well, I definitely listened to it a lot when I was a lot younger and when it first came out. So the album came out in 2009. So yeah, that was a long time ago, and the date now is 2020. So that was 11 years ago. Damn. It's been a while, because I remember when it first came out as well. So yeah, I remember when it was fresh. But yeah, it's been 11 years, and let's see how well it's aged. And obviously my music taste has changed quite significantly since my earlier days, 11 years ago. So the way I feel about a certain song has changed since then. I might have not liked it as much, I might have grown out of it, stuff like that. But nevertheless, let's begin. Alright, the first song we'll do is Peacemaker. Yeah. So what do I think of Peacemaker? So this is kind of a, what do you call it, bit of a left field kind of song. It doesn't really fit in this album, in the sense that, yeah, it's kind of got a Spanish vibe to it, like the whole guitar riffs and everything, and even the lyrics is very Spanish. I mean, it might be Hispanic actually. Let's make it a bit broad. But yeah, it's got like a very Hispanic kind of vibe, with the whole shouting as well that Billy Joel does. Very, it's very nice actually, and I quite like it as well. And even the lyrics have a lot of Spanish involved. I don't know what the influence is, but I can definitely tell it's Spanish. I'll say that one more time. Yeah, Spanish influence in this song. But nevertheless, I do quite like the song. And yeah, and it's very fast paced, high energy, which I am a fan of. And I really enjoy the whole what do you call it, I don't know if it's called an ad-lib. I don't know if you would call it an ad-lib, but the ad-libs that he does in this song, where he goes ay, 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 at the end of the song, and I thought it was pretty cool. And this is definitely a unique song, and it definitely stands out. So I do enjoy this track quite a bit. So yeah, I'd give this track a 6.6. Yeah, that's what I'm giving it. Alright, so let's start at the beginning. So it's been a while since I've done this kind of stuff. So yeah, song of the century. Do I think it's better than Peacemaker? No. Alright, what's next? 21st Century Breakdown. I do think it's better. And what about 21st Century Breakdown? Viva la Gloria. Do I think that's better or not? I honestly don't. Actually, I think it's better, just by a little bit as well. And Before the Lobotomy, I don't think it's better than Peacemaker. I'll give more explanations as I go on a bit later on. Christian's Inferno, I don't think that's any better than that. Nope, not at all. I rate Peacemaker quite highly on this album as well, because of the whole Spanish sound, which I don't know, I'm a sucker for that sound. There's a few other artists that have that kind of sound in one or two of their songs, and I don't know, I just love the sound that it comes off that album. Jesus Nowhere, yes. Last Night on Earth, yes. Song of the Century, no. I spotted that was a no. Live, okay. Last of the American Girls, yes. Murder City, yes. Viva la Gloria, Little Girl, almost. They're very similar in my rankings anyway, I would say. Restless Heart Syndrome, no. Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, nope. The Static Age, nope. 21 Guns, of course it'll be above that. The Mass Hysteria Eulogy, what would I say about that? No. And See the Light, definitely no. So yeah, that's where I think, yeah, Peacemaker is kind of like a standout track, but it doesn't stand out that much. Like it stands out because it's different, but in terms of how much I like it, it's definitely somewhere in the top half. And yeah, all right. So all right, let's go and do let me think, one, two. All right, Restless Heart Syndrome next. All right. So yeah, this is one of those songs that it's just kind of okay, and just like that's how I feel about this song. And when I first heard the song, I thought I liked it. The start at the beginning is quite good. I mean, the start of the song is fairly decent with the whole pianos and his soft singing. Oh my God, soft singing ballad style, which I did enjoy the start of the song. But then as the song carries on, it just kind of drags on the whole somber mood. It doesn't really change at all, and it starts to feel a bit flat. And yeah, and it just stays the same, which I didn't really enjoy in this album, especially on a whole. Most of the songs have like so many different parts. The beat changes, chorus flows, like just throughout this album, a lot of it changes, and this song just stays constant and same. It's Restless Heart, but it's actually resting, this song. And I also feel like Billy Joel's vocals on this are a bit drag and boring, and they sound very monotone, and there's not much energy in his voice, which I didn't really enjoy. And also there is a solo part later on in the song, so there is a little beat change, but I just thought the solo part, it didn't sound that good at all, and I didn't really enjoy it. It sounded so flat, and that's what I thought of it. So yeah, I would give this a 7.5. That's how I'm feeling about it. I do like it, but it's just alright, to be honest. That's what I think. So yeah. So Viva La Gloria, Little Girl, I think that's better. Song of the Century is better. Christian's Inferno is better. Whoa, my phone nearly fell over. Before the Lobotomy, yes, I think that's better as well. And Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, yep, I think it's better than Restless Heart Syndrome. The Static Age, do I think that's better? No, I don't think the Static Age is better. And the American Eulogy, I do think is better as well. And See the Light, and no, I don't think that's better. So as you can see, Restless Heart Syndrome is not really one of the songs that I like on this album. And to be fair, yeah, it's kind of flat and dull, but yes, I think it's still a decent song. It's passable to listen. It's listenable. That's what I would say anyway. All right, so let's go on to the bottom two of this album anyway. So we got The Static Age and See the Light. I think we should start with Static Age because See the Light is the final song of the album, so we can do that last. All right. So yeah, The Static Age. So this song feels kind of like a complaining kind of song, to be honest, And there's that whole static sound in the song as well, and it just seems like a moan about how everything's changing. Technology is getting more advanced, and they just don't want it to change, and they talk about the Static Age, so where everything stays the same kind of thing. And yeah, and the guitars on this sound very similar to Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, which is kind of a given because it literally comes after the song, but it just sounds very similar. I reckon they did it on purpose, but for me it just didn't really resonate well with me. And on this there's a lot of like singing as well on this. I mean, most of the songs are singing, but there's a chorus part where it just sounds so flat, and the backing, the backing vocals on it as well, it really doesn't help. I don't think so anyway. Yeah, just like there's a lot going on in this song which I don't like. So with this I'd give it a 5.4. Yeah, and I just think it's a bit annoying as well, and it sounds very whinge like, the whole chorus. Not a fan of. Alright, so then we got See the Light. Yeah. So I can't believe we're talking about the final song already, and we haven't even spoken about this first song anyway. But the final song on this album, the final and first song, they're kind of connected in a way. So the first actual song being the 21st Century Breakdown, and they both share the same riff, like the beginning riff, and I thought it was kind of cool how they start with the same riff and they finish with the same riff. But obviously, just that singular riff is copied, and then the rest of the song is quite different. And See the Light, like the same riff starts, but when I first heard it, I was like, isn't that a recycled riff from 21st Century Breakdown? And the thing about what you call it, what's the word? The thing about the riff in the See the Light is it just gets very repetitive and boring because it's quite a short melody, like sequence. So yeah, it's just very short sequence, and it just becomes very repetitive, and I didn't really enjoy See the Light that much. But and the vocals, the backing vocals on this don't really compliment Billy Joel at all, especially when it's just so out of place. Like the woes don't really help Billy Joel like sound any better at all. So I thought, they were kind of pointless, and it doesn't enhance the song at all. And also, I thought it was a good concept to start, with the same riff and end with the same riff, So that was pretty cool. But yeah, this song, didn't really like it that much, so I'd give it a 5.2. Well, that feels a bit generous, to be honest, actually. No, never mind. I meant 4.2. I didn't like it. So you can see that this is the song I like the least as well. And speaking of changing my songs again, I changed my mind on Static Gauge. I'm gonna give it a 4.7. That's how I'm feeling. I didn't really like the song at all. I was feeling a bit kind earlier, but now I'm just full on savage mode. Alright, let's move on. Yeah, so it's kind of funny how See the Light is the final song, but that's also the worst song in my opinion. And yeah, let's move on. Alright, so let's move on to Before the Lobotomy. So as the title suggests, lobotomy is, I forgot what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's when they do operation that removes a part of your brain or something, and it's usually used to brainwash people or just make them stupid. That's what I say anyway. And it's kind of a form of what do you call it? A form of mind control and zombification of people. And I think that's what Green Day are trying to portray in this song. Because my theory is, let me think. So the first song, the first part of the song starts with this very dreamy kind of chords, like you're about to fall asleep and you're dreaming, and also the lyrics are literally him just saying dreaming, he was only dreaming. So it's got like a very transic vibe at the beginning, and then it switches to like a more hard style, and quite an orderly kind of riff. And the second part changer, it really reminds me of a marching band. So I can imagine before the lobotomy, you're all dreaming, and after the lobotomy you kind of turn into another puppet who just mindless because you've been lobotomized, kind of thing. That's what the marching band is, because you're following orders. Well, that's just my interpretation of the song anyway, so that's what I think it is about. And then yeah, with the hard style at the part 2 of the song anyway. I call it the parts anyway. And yeah, the chorus on this is quite decent. I like it a little bit, and the ending of it is quite nice as well. The second part where it slows down a little bit before it ends. So yeah, quite enjoyed the song, and I'd give Before the Lobotomy 6.2. Yeah, boom. That's how we're going. That's what we're going in. Alright, do I think Christian's Inferno is better than Before the Lobotomy? I unfortunately don't. Actually, what did I 6.2? I meant 6.3, sorry, my bad. Yep, okay. No. Yeah, I think between the two of these songs, Lobotomy is definitely better. But just by a little bit, I would say. And then Song of the Century is kind of a short song, it's almost an interlude, to be honest, and I would classify it as the interlude, to be honest. I'd probably just put it down here. Viva la Gloria, Little Girl. This is the Little Girl version. Do I like this song better? I wonder if I do, but let me think. I think, yeah, I do like it better. I gotta say. Horseshoes and hand grenades, is it better than Before the Lobotomy? Nope. And I think it's not even that good as Lobotomy, but not even close. It's just a fair bit not better anyway. And American Eulogy, I actually think this song is better than Lobotomy. I'll talk about that later as well, as I'm saying. So yeah, here we go. So we got 3 songs left here. We'll sort them out. So Christian's Inferno. So in American Idiot, there are characters like the Jesus Suburbia and stuff, and they've kind of gone for the same route, trying to copy the success of their last album, and they've gone with this character called Christian, and this song is literally about his inferno, as you can see. When I was younger, I thought it was about, like Christianity, like Christians, them kind of Christians, but no, it's actually about a dude called Christian. Man, I was an idiot back then. But yeah, this song is quite I don't know, kind of a love-hate relationship with this song, and I would say that because it does sound quite good sometimes, but I just feel like what do you call it? When he screams "Whoa, Christian's Inferno," he says that about 10 times in the song, and it gets too repetitive, and yeah, it's quite crazy how repetitive it is. So and the structure of the song is also quite repetitive and very simple as well. It's literally he seems to have this like devil whispering style verses, which has a very what do you call it? He sounds like he's speaking through a radio with the style of reverb he uses and everything, and then it's really whispery, and it sounds like a devil's whispering in your ear kind of thing, and it also reminds me of the Hells of Flame. I don't know why, that's just kind of imagery I get from the song and everything, and then literally bursts out into full on what do you call it, very high spirit type of chorus for like a few lines, Christian's Inferno, he says that like 4 times, and then he's back to the whispering mode, and it just keeps going back and forth between those modes, and then we get this little solo in the middle, which is just alright, and then we switch back to those again. And I quite like the use of the backing track on this, the backing vocals, which is just him laughing sometimes, really gives you the sense of, as I was saying, hell and the imagery of Satan laughing or something, that's just what I get anyway, and it's very sinister as well, but yeah, that's my take on Christian's Inferno. It's good, it sounds alright, but it's just very simple and repetitive, so with that, I'd give it a 6.2. Alright, do I think Horses, Shoes and Hand Grenades are better than Christian's Inferno? I don't actually. And what about Song of the Century? And I would say nope to that as well. Alright, so next is let's do Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. And I really love the opening riff to this song as well. It's just like, it hits quite hard, very, what do you call it, and it's very, as you would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it's very in your face, the whole riff and everything, and then he just comes in, shouting some profanity, and I love it when Billy Joel does that. He's just shouting on the mic. There's a lot of energy in this song, and I want to say this song has another what do you call it, another influence, which is outside of the whole punk zone. It is in the punk zone, but it's outside of their space, in a sense, where I don't know why, but I just get this really classic style British punk rock kind of sound from the whole guitars, everything is, the way, the delivery, the riffs and everything, which I do enjoy quite a bit, and it just sounds quite good on this song, Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. But I've got to say again, it just sounds a bit basic sometimes, and it's the same very simple song structure, and seem very flat sometimes, just very dull as well, so I didn't really enjoy it that much. But I gotta say, yeah, I did enjoy how it did sound different again, with the whole British influence here. So we had Spanish influence, now we got British influence, so I'd definitely give it a 6.1. And then Song of the Century, I'm just gonna leave this as void, because in a sense there is another song with the same thing, so I'm just gonna leave it as NA. Let's put it as 0 for now, but we know what it means, alright? Because that's kind of that's pretty much an interlude. So right, okay, we got these two songs, Little Girl Gloria and American Eulogy. Alright, let's talk about American Eulogy, alright. So this song is kind of weird because this song, as you can see from the title, is literally just seems like three songs put together, and just some leftovers just meshed together. And I gotta say, it meshes quite well, to be honest. And as I was saying about Song of the Century, the whole interlude is pretty much redundant if they're just going to recycle it into another song. So the start of American Eulogy, Mass Hysteria, Modern Age. I'm just going to call it American Eulogy for now. So the start of American Eulogy is literally Song of the Century, like from the beginning, and then it kind of fades out into this massive, fast-paced, high-energy, mass hysteria part of the song, which is really, like blah 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 in your face. The RPMs are really quick, and the lyric delivery and everything is really hard-hitting. I do enjoy it quite a bit. And then we also got the he just shouts mass hysteria a few times as well, and he says it enough that it's catchy, but not enough that it's repetitive. So I did enjoy that, and so I thought that was pretty cool, to be honest. And yeah, with that, we get a few more guitar solos, and then we move on to the modern world. All right, and this sounds very punk in the sense that as he talks about the modern world and how everything is changing, he doesn't want to live in the modern world. That's what he's saying. He doesn't want things to change, and he wants everything to slow down a little bit. This is kind of rebellion against the system, where he doesn't want to. What's the word? He doesn't want to follow the system, follow the rules, very punk-like. So I don't know, this song feels very punk, rebellious and everything, and has that youthful spirit, especially with the modern world, and talks about taxes and everything, very grown-up stuff. So yeah, so I guess I understand what the whole song is about. So yeah, I do enjoy this whole little mix put together quite well, actually, and it's definitely a decent track on this album, I gotta say, for sure. So yeah, the score I would give it would definitely be a 6 point. Whoa! What happened? What did I do? Put it back. Put it back. Here we go. There we go. All right. Yeah. Okay, that was weird. I forgot it does that. All right. I definitely give this a 6.5, and then alright, let's move on to Viva La Gloria, Little Girl. Alright, so if you probably noticed, there's two Viva La Glorias, and this one has a question mark and Little Girl. So in Viva La Gloria, I'm pretty sure that's Spanish as well. So yeah, there we go, another international influence in this album. So yeah, this song is it starts off with the whole very sentimental ballad with the pianos at the beginning. I've noticed a few of these songs do that as well. As I was talking earlier, which other song does it? Restless Heart Syndrome does it as well. So yeah, that's kind of a thing. And then it kind of switches into this whole as a gypsy punk kind of sound, like a bit folkish. I took that word straight from Fantana, by the way, and he was talking about My Chemical Romance, the song Mama, which also has a similar kind of vibe and sound. So I'm guessing that's the genre it was taken from, because it has they have the same influence in the songs. So here we go, another international influence again, definitely different. I do like the whole concept of them embracing like other sounds. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And yeah, Little Gloria, Little Girl, yeah, it sounds very sinister, and it sounds very fun as well. So I do enjoy it. And the the chorus is very catchy in this one as well. And then we also get the guitar solo, and this one actually sounds good because we get some backing tracks as well. The woes in the back actually help and enhance the listening experience quite a little bit. So yeah, with that little Viva Gloria, I'd give it a 6.6. And I definitely enjoy the song structure for this as well, which I do enjoy. And I feel like the chorus actually hits quite hard in this. We get the verse and a little pause, and then we get the whole runaway, from the Salvation Army and stuff. I thought that was pretty dope. Alright, boom. So as you can see, Peacemaker and Viva La Gloria, they've got the same score. So that's kind of weird, So how can we decide which song is better? and to have a little face off. So do I prefer the whole gypsy rock vibe, or do I enjoy the Spanish vibe a little bit more? So let me think. I want to say nowadays I feel like I enjoy Pacemaker a bit more, to be honest. Oh my god, I did it again. uh, let me do that again. Okay, so I feel like I enjoy Peacemaker a little bit more than Viva La Gloria. It has that little edge anyway. I don't know, I just enjoy the sounds a bit more, especially with the whole guitars and everything. And I just enjoy the fast pacing in the, especially in Peacemaker anyway. So I'm gonna give this a 6.1. Just put that little edge over Viva La Gloria, so I think it is better than Viva La Gloria. All right, we're moving on to the top half of the album anyway. So as you can see, this album is pretty decent, because these scores, like anything above a 6 is actually, which I deem worthy enough to listen to, and I have it on my album anyway. I mean, on my library. So yeah, most of these songs on this album are on my library except one or two. So yeah, let's move on to the top half. Alright, so let's start off with Jesus of Nowhere. So I've always been confused with the title of this song, because it's East Jesus. I don't know if it's East Jesus Now Here, or is it Nowhere. I don't know which one is which still, but this song is definitely one of my favorites, and it's definitely got the best riffs on the album. I've got to say the riffs on the first part of the starting song is definitely the most catchiest on the album. I enjoy it the most, and it just has this nice vibe. So you know, it strums for a few times, and then we get the drums kicking in, and then the heavy guitars, and it just it sounds like the riff just, you know, pumps itself up and gets harder and louder. I enjoy that quite a bit. And the vocals on this, I think they're so nice on this as well. And on the reverb, it does sound like he's speaking through the what do you call it, radio again, but it sounds really good on this one. And there's a lot of high energy in this as well. And the lyrics on this, you know, they are quite what do you call it, I do enjoy the lyrics on this as well. They're very enjoyable and has a lot of energy. You can definitely feel the emotions in Billy Joel's voice when he sings. And there's this one part in the middle where he switches up the flow a little bit, and he goes a bit more sentimental. And I've got to say that verse is definitely legendary for me. It's definitely one of my highlights on this album, and I love the lyrics he uses. That, you know, talking about the river of Shadow Uptown, I think, and something about his Sunday best, you know, which I really enjoyed, to be honest. Like, it just sounded so smooth and sexy. I was like, damn, I enjoyed that so much. And every time I listen to that song, I always look forward to that spare little moment in the middle. I enjoy it a lot. And the drums on this as well, you know, this is the first time I'm talking about drums on the whole album, and I've been talking about like 26 minutes. So yeah, the drums on this song especially, they hit extra hard, and I don't know if it's the mixing or something, but they sound really good on this song anyway. So yeah, what do I have to give? So I'm gonna call this Jesus Now Here, because I have hope. I have hope he's here now. So yeah, I'd definitely give this a 7. So yeah, and the meaning of this song is, you know, it's pretty deep, but I don't really listen to rock songs for the lyrics, to be honest. And it's got a lot of political opinions in this one, you know, because it's talking about the East Jesus, not like the regular Jesus, the East Jesus. So yeah, yeah, and there's that little interlude at the beginning, which has like the television flicking through, and we get a little segment of Spanish TV as well. So yeah, I've definitely noticed there's a lot of Spanish influence in this whole album. So yeah, right, let's go. Last Night on Earth is better. It's way better than that. Viva La Gloria, do I think it's better than East Jesus Now Here? Let me see. I don't think it is. Alright, what about 21st Century Breakdown? Yes, I do. Murder City, do I think it's better than... I don't know how I feel. I feel like it's slightly better, because Murder City is definitely very catchy. Oh, okay, there we go. And Last of the American Girls, yes, I do think it is. And 21 Guns, it is. Alright, so Viva La Gloria is next. So Gloria is the love interest of Christian in this album. So yeah, and they don't really get mentioned that much, to be honest, or maybe I wasn't paying attention when I was listening, but I do know about that much about those two anyway. So yeah, Viva La Gloria, the Spanish title, I think it translates to Live. I don't know. I know Viva means live, so something about living and Gloria. So yeah, we get that as I was talking about earlier with the whole sentimental pianos at the beginning. We get that yet again. So yeah, there's definitely a formula that's been used throughout 21st Century Breakdown. So, but I gotta say the piano on this with the talking about Gloria standing on the edge, it's definitely, I love it. I love it. I love it a lot. You know, it's definitely my favorite part of it. Every time I hear one of these pianos at the beginning, little ballads at the beginning, I gotta say those are usually the best part of the song for me anyway. And this one especially, where it's, I don't know, there's just so much more emotion in this one, and it just feels, I don't know, it's a lot of energy and emotions in the little piano. And then the what you call it, the beat kicks in once the beat kicks in after the drop, with the whole, you start shouting Gloria, and the way it's mixed as well, it sounds really loud and dynamic, so I really enjoyed the way it sounds. And I gotta say the hook on this is an absolute killer. Viva la Gloria. And I love it. So yeah, because of that, I gotta give it quite a decent score, Viva la Gloria. And I'd give it what do you call it, 6.9. So yeah, it's not that much better. It's not that much worse than East Jesus Now Here. But I would say Viva la Gloria is definitely one of the songs I enjoy in this song quite a bit. And I want to say the chorus is so catchy, man. I love it. And it does talk about where is Gloria. So yeah, I want to know where she is as well. Yeah, alright. Alright, let's go next one. Let's do we're doing Murder City next. Alright, so this is probably one of the shortest songs on the album, and it's called Murder City. And what do I think of it? Let me find my notes. Okay, Murder City. So we get this Morse code at the beginning, like I think it's Morse code, but it's some like radio signal at the beginning, which and then it kind of just breaks out into this massive guitar solo. And I gotta say, like the way he just shouts desperate, just like that one word, it's just so simple but effective. And he gives a little pause, and then he sings the rest of the verse. And I gotta say, I found that so cool, and I don't know, I just love the sound of it. And this is definitely quite a simple song, and it's very short as well, Murder City. But I gotta say, I really enjoy it, And he talks about Christian again. There's a reference to Christian crying in the bathroom. I remember that. That's definitely a standout lyric for me. I don't know why. It's nothing like spectacular, but it just stands out, like the delivery he throws into it. And the melody on this song is definitely very catchy and very a good listen for me anyway. But and then the chorus on this is amazing, like the drop and everything, the change, the execution. I've gotta love it. And another thing I like about Murder City is it's short and sweet, especially in 2020, where all the songs, they're not very long anymore because everyone's got short attention spans, less than it used to be. So shorter songs are definitely the more norm of today. But back then, 11 years ago, like, it wasn't really a thing where having short songs, because the average song length has definitely decreased quite a bit since the last decade, to be honest. So this song has aged well because it's quite short and sweet. So yeah, I've got to say, I'm going to give this a 7.1, which puts it definitely over Murder City. I mean, Jesus is now here. Alright, so last of the American Girl, do I think this is better than this? Yeah, I do actually. And yeah, 21 Guns. Ooh, this one is close because they're both, actually, spoiler alert, I gave 21 Guns a 7.1 as well. So let's talk about 21 Guns first. So this song is definitely the most iconic song on the album. When I say iconic, I just mean popular, because this is the song that even like your casual Green Day fans will know. Like people, some of my friends who don't really, like a big fan of Green Day, even they know this song. So this was definitely their breakout song, I say, very popular, standout. And this is one of the songs on the album which has an acoustic guitar at the beginning, and it's very folks-like at the beginning, and then obviously the folk transitions into a massive electric heavy guitar, and I've got to say, but the first verse is definitely very catchy, like the way he delivers the verse and the song structure as well. I love it. And then we get a solo as well, and then after the solo we get like a very sentimental lyrics again with a verse, another verse. But I've got to say, the chorus on this is definitely one of those ones that everyone knows, and it's very catchy again. And I keep using that word, chorus is catchy, but what I say, that's what I like about this album. There's just very catchy choruses and very, catchy verses. There's a lot of it, and I like it. I do like this album quite a bit. So yeah, and I especially enjoy that verse after the solo, where he goes full on, and it's just very dramatic. I love it. And 21 Guns, everyone knows about it, and it's meant to be a sad song, because it's the 21 gun salute, which is usually given to people who have died and stuff, in their honor. So I'd give it a 7.1 as well. But which song do I think is better, 21 Guns or Murder City? And I think Murder City definitely has the edge, especially because of the popularity of 21 Guns. It's kind of overplayed, and especially I do enjoy nowadays the length of Murder City. I appreciate it more nowadays than I used to, because I was saying earlier on how the average length has gone down quite a bit. So those are the 2 points which I would use to give it an edge. And plus I do enjoy the fast pacedness of Murder City more than the slowness of 21 Guns. So yeah, that's where I would rate it. Alright, so we're in the top 3 now. Alright, top 3. So these are my top 3 songs on the album: 21st Century Breakdown, the self-titled song, Last Night on Earth, and Last of the American Girls. Alright, so let's do Last of the American Girls first. Alright. I think I'm coming down with a cold. I can feel my nose feel a bit runny. So Last of the American Girls is literally, as it kind of describes what the song's about. And it's kind of weird, because this is the only song that has like a very post-apocalyptic vibe. It might be because I watched the music video as well, but if you listen to the lyrics of this song, there's a lot of reference to post-apocalyptic stuff, because he makes a reference to the nuclear winter, right? And I'm like, why would he mention that? And there's just a lot of stuff like graffiti on the wall, and it's kind of a cool concept, like yeah, he's singing about, I'm guessing, this post-apocalyptic world. This is my interpretation, where there's not many people left, and she is the last of the American girl, and he's describing what the American girl is, And it's quite cool, and the way she puts her lipstick on, and yeah, it's quite nice actually. It's just pretty much describing like the last American girl, and there's a lot of references to nuclear stuff as well. So yeah, I thought, I don't know, it's kind of a cool theme that's been played in this song, and it's definitely one of my favorite songs on the album. And yeah, the verses on these are so creative. I just enjoy them quite a lot, and I really appreciate them, and the imagery that it puts in my head. It's amazing. And the chorus on this song as well is quite good, and I enjoy it quite a bit, especially his pronunciations on some of the words, which really sounds quite cool, and I like it quite a bit. So Last of the American Girls, and there's this guitar solo as well. I really enjoy it as well. It's very simple and everything, and the structure on the song is definitely top notch, and I'd give it a 7.7. Boom. So that's a high mark for me. Boom. So yeah, and there's only one song that's better than this, and that's Last Night on Earth. So 21st Century Breakdown, the self-titled song. Last of the American Girl is second. 21st Century Breakdown is third. Alright, let's talk about the 21st Century Breakdown. So this is the official starting track song, because Song of the Century is just the interlude. So as we were talking earlier, we get that same little riff at the beginning, which is at the end as well. But after that, That's kind of a part one, to be honest. So we get a little guitar, we get that a little bit, and we get a few verses with the whole riff, with the starting riff. And I gotta say, the melodies used by Billy Joel again, they're really catchy, and I enjoy them quite a bit. And the rhyme structure on this is alright as well. I like it, and the flow on it is quite catchy again. And the way it breaks down into the 21st Century Breakdown, I thought that was quite cool. And I gotta say, the whole vibe of the song was pretty cool. And then we kind of switch on to the next part. So after that whole chorus and verse has been done, we kind of switch the guitars up a little bit, and then it has a very Irish kind of sound again. Another influence, another different influence, and it has like a proper Irish kind of sound. And if you know what I mean, if you've heard it, you know what I mean. And I want to say, there's a lot of anger and animosity in the lyrics as well, and especially about there's a lot about him growing up, I guess, and he talks about the bastards of 1969. So there's a lot of anger as well, but it's kind of cool how he's talking about him growing up in the new 21st century as well. So the whole song is about pretty much the start of the new decade and how it's kind of breaking down, everything around him is falling apart. It's kind of bleak as well. But then there's a lot of high energy in this part, and then the final part, we go out into this love rock mode. It's very, what do you call it? I don't know the exact word, but there's a lot of sentimental riffs and stuff, and there's a talk about dreaming and the American dream at the end, and talking about how you can't scream, and it just ends and fades into black, which I thought was pretty cool. And I've got to say that the three different parts are very distinct and they're very different, but somehow they kind of weave in and out each other seamlessly, which I do enjoy. And I've got to say, the vocal performance again was spectacular in this song, and I really enjoyed the structure as well, and especially the sentimental ending as well. I do enjoy that little verse that he gives at the end, and the way his voice just fades out into black. I gotta say, I love that quite a bit, so I'd give this a 7.2. Alright, there we go. Alright. Now this is the moment you've been waiting for. This is the number one song, I think, on the 21st Century Breakdown, which is The Last Night on Earth. And I gotta say, this is the 11 years later, this is like one of the only songs that's still heavily in my rotation, especially my my sentimental playlists. Like, this song is always on there, and it's The Last Night on Earth. And I gotta say, this song is head and shoulders above the rest, and it's definitely aged the best out of all the other songs. It still sounds really fresh to me anyway. Like, some of the other songs, they have sounded quite stale, and so I don't listen to them as much, but I don't know why, but I still listen to this song regularly, Last Night on Earth. Like, the other songs, I do like them, but I don't listen to them as much as I used to when I was younger. That's probably because I've listened to them so many times. But Last Night on Earth, man, I just keep listening to this song again and again. My favourite song, and I think the lyrics on these are they're so nice on everything as well. So I've heard that these songs it's actually a love song that Billy Joel wrote for his wife. So just really adds the value to the song. And if that's true, I think it's really cute, the things he says to his wife. And I don't really, as I was saying earlier, I don't really pay attention to the lyrics on rock songs because they're never the main focus for me. Like, the only time I listen to the lyrics are on hip hop songs, because the whole genre, I mean, it used to be very lyrically based, but now it's not anymore. But it used to be. So, but this is one of the few songs where, like, I can't ignore the lyrics, because the lyrics are they're very poetic and romantic as well. Like, the things he does for his wife, or he allegedly did for his wife, just, I like it. I'm a bit of a softie when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I enjoyed it quite a bit, where he talks about things he does and how much he loves her. And I want to say, especially again, that reverb with that whole, it sounds like he's talking through a mic kind of thing. It's definitely amazing. And then the instrumental on this is definitely my favorite. It just feels so. This is a lovely kind of instrumental, and the tone, the vibe, it just feels so somber, and you feel like you're floating in the clouds. That's just how I feel. And there's this pipe instrument as well that you can hear sometimes. It kind of rings through, and it just seamlessly fits in the background. Yeah, it's like static noise, and yeah, gotta say I love it. And the way his beating heart, let me think of some lyrics on the top of my head. His beating heart beats for you. uh, He'd walk a mile until he find you. If he burned to fire. But I gotta say, yeah, never mind. Nevertheless, I can't remember the lyrics off the top of my head, but I gotta say they're really romantic and stuff. And yeah, it'd be sick, It's definitely a good love song to sing. If you got a girl or something, or if you got a man, you can sing this song to them, and yeah, it's just really cool. And yeah, the instrumental on this is definitely amazing as well. And I just love the vibe of the song so much. So this song is head and shoulders above everything else, and I'll be giving this an 8.8. That's very high, and I don't really give that many 8s to be honest, but this is one of those songs that is on the top echelons of my albums. And just in terms of my overall library, that is definitely in the top tier of half of my library anyway. Last Night on Earth. Alright, so I've reviewed every single song on this album. I've also touched on some of the topics in this album anyway. So I'll just be giving a whole review, which I've mentioned some of the themes that have been talked about before in this album. So I've noticed in this album there's a lot of mid-beat changes, like they just switch up the beats halfway through. I guess that's to make it more exciting and dynamic, especially with the length of some of these songs are quite long, so they don't want to make it a bit too stale, which I do enjoy. But it seems to be very formulaic in the way they do it. And obviously, being a rock band, they do have a lot of random solos just sat in the middle of their songs, and most of the solos, they're quite decent, and some of them are just garbage. But some solos are quite decent, to be honest, which I do enjoy. And as I was saying earlier, like, one of the things they have in this album, a formula anyway, is to have this random ballad at the beginning and just transition into full-on rock mode. That just seems to be a thing that they have in like 4 or 5 of their songs. So I don't mind that at all, actually. And some of the ballads at the beginning I enjoy more than the rest of the song, to be honest. So yeah, this album was released in 2009, so it's kind of based on the new decade, 2010, which is already past. But I guess back then it seemed like quite a dystopian thing, to be honest, looking back on it. They probably thought it was like dystopian and everything's breaking down and everything's a mess. That's kind of what the whole album's about, to be honest. Like how screwed we are, kind of thing. And the use of reverb and mixing is definitely a notable thing. And there seems to be an audio effect on Billy Joel's voice where half of the time he sounds like he's singing through a microphone, no, through a radio post anyway, in like some wasteland. So I thought that was quite a cool effect they added sometimes, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, But I definitely like the fact that they did it anyway. And yeah, there was a lot of different influences that weren't American, as I've pointed out. There was Spanish, Irish, like British. British and Irish is pretty similar, and that gypsy rock again. There seems to be a lot of influences, which I did enjoy, because it adds a different flavor to some of the songs, and it spices up the whole album quite a bit, and there's a bit of variety and everything. And yeah, this song was trying to piggyback on the success of American Idiot. They're trying to make it another rock opera, because American Idiot is actually a musical that you can go see. Like, that's crazy. I guess they were trying to do that again, but it didn't really work, because I've never seen a 21st Century Breakdown musical ever. Like, I've never seen a poster of them or anything, but I always see the American Idiot one. But yeah, this song, I don't know how I feel. Like, I don't know if 21st Century Breakdown is better than American Idiot or not, but because I'm always I'm always flip-flopping between the two, like which one do I think is better. But for now, I think American Idiot is better album, but 21st Century Breakdown is definitely a close second, like very close. And I'm very fickle when it comes to that, so I might change my mind next time. But yeah, this is definitely one of the best Green Day albums anyway, I think, in my opinion. Many of you might disagree with me because they might be a fan of Dookie or something, like the more traditional punk based sound they had, like the old school style. I remember a lot of the Green Day fans are definitely into that, but I've always been a bit of a indie alternative kind of sound kind of guy, so this was definitely the album for me. And yeah, this album definitely has a place in my heart with a lot of nostalgia as well. So most of my ratings might have been very biased because of that nostalgia, because I've heard this song when I was definitely a lot younger, and yeah, I definitely listened to it a lot as well, because back then I didn't really listen to that much music as I do now, because my taste back then was very more defined, so I didn't listen to that many songs as I do now. I think back then I only had like 200 songs that I would listen to all the time, and now I've got like 2,000 songs that I listen to. So yeah, so I definitely listen to them a lot as well, so that definitely influenced my decisions on the ratings I gave them. And the last rating I forgot to give is definitely the album rating. So what do I think of 21st Century Breakdown? So the 21st Century Breakdown for me would be definitely I gotta say, I don't know if it's 6 or 7, because I love it. I love it so much, but I don't want nostalgia to. My nostalgia is saying give it a 7, but I'm right now looking back on some of the songs and the ratings I gave it, especially some of the lower ratings down at the bottom, kind of like quite low as well. So but if you think about how many songs I have on my library, I have every single song except 2 on my library. So for that reason, I think I'm gonna give it a high 6.8. I'm gonna give it a 6.8. Boom. So that is my album review and score for 21st Century Breakdown by Green Day. Bye bye. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and this was very rambly, and hopefully I can improve on this quite a bit, and hopefully I'll be able to do another one soon. Bye. Best to worst. Boom.